Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. We are sat at Interlaken Freight Yard, our lovely little hand-built freight yard station, waiting on a payday. Yeah, our big coal train. Robbie has been said in the comments, and thank you everybody who got involved in the last episode. Lots of good suggestions, some good ideas, some question marks as to why I chose Robbie over John. Well, eventually we'll have two coal trains. So there we go. We'll have two coal trains, John and Robbie. And that was one of the... I just clapped my hands. Good job. That was one of the suggestions, was to split our train into two. However, I'm not going to do that. It is a good idea early on, as what will happen is you don't have those giant lulls. It probably would have been a good idea this time around. However, I've gone all in and was sticking with my choices. Yes. I still can't see the train. That's a little bit awkward. It's going to take a while to get round here. What I'm hoping to do early on today... Let's bring up the UI actually so we can monitor our funds. We're in the red. That's nice. We're going to be building a bypass for Robbie, or the coal train, just to cut a bit of time off the journey and make a little bit more profit. I feel like we are making profit. It's just minimal, and it takes a long time for it to do its journey. Now, we were already making a fairly decent amount a year, so it's not too much to worry about. There it is, right in the background. Can we bring that up? Let's have a look. There we go. Details. No, finances, that's what we want. Well, there's the payout that we're getting, 7 million. I'm trying to do the math for this, because you don't know how far into this or into that and into that was happening before this happened. That's why you have to take an average over 10 years. Anyway, we're not getting into that today. I do feel like we're just scraping by with a decent enough profit. If we had two, this would obviously be halved for both trains. So it would still be at the same line rate, would still make the same amount of money, would still lose the same amount of money. But we'd have less time to wait in between each payday. The reason I go for longer, bigger single trains is not long after we've sorted this out, which will hopefully be today, we're going to get several more trains running on this line, which means traffic is going to increase considerably on the line that we've already got a coal train and log-in trains and a little passenger train. So a single train cuts down on the traffic, kind of preparing for what's coming next. Hopefully. We're going to build something fancy today because I didn't build the much requested viaduct. So we're having it here instead. Yeah. It will kind of be alright, wouldn't it? Anyway, payday's coming. Unfortunately, we're well in the red at the moment. It doesn't matter though, does it? We're about to get a big old payday, and then we're going to hit pause. So what we can do now that we've got it paused and we have some funds is a brand new bypass track. This is not going to be wasted. We are still going to be using this. I also have an idea to get this yard here looking active with actual freight trains that are going to pass through. Quick look over and a little bit of a spoiler as to where we're going. Brig's going to get a bit of freight station action in its current station towards the river there. That's the big plan. We've got little plans to sort out. Yeah, we're not going to have catenary, as we're going to try and keep costs to a minimum while we set this up. One thing we probably need to do is flatten this, unfortunately, which is going to cost us even more. Or is it worth doing? I think it will be in the long run. We could always redo it afterwards, which might be a good idea. Because what we could do is draw it initially, and it might look a little bit silly and a little bit tall. However, you'll see we're dipping down here. So if we bring this up, it's not actually going to be that. Have they got worse at building bridges? I'm going to say yes. It's not good, is it? Unfortunately. But anyway, we're not going to pick on the game. Let's get this in, and then in fact we could have it at the minimum since we're on the inside there. We are sort of heading the right direction, yes, that's where we want to be going. This is going to be our new viaduct. We might do something different with this bridge. Although it is fitting if they're both the same. We're going to keep this straight. It's going to help sceneryify this industry as well. We do want to keep flat and straight. It's a bridge. As long as we can get this in, yes we can. Then what we'll do is we'll get our scenery tools and we'll fill this in. It's probably going to be the last thing we do once we know it's making more money. We can look at the line rate here just to get an idea of how much. Currently it takes 23 months. Is it 23 or is it closer to 2 years? Probably closer, leaning to 2 years if you round it up. But there we go. It takes 2 years for a full journey. And it is a full journey, confirmed, and it does sort of make sense as it's the time between vehicles spread evenly. So if there's only one vehicle on a line and it's technically a loop, regardless of whether it's point to point, then what you're doing is you're measuring the distance if you walked the route and then came back to yourself, which would be a full run. There we go. And so if the more vehicles you add, you times the interval by the amount of vehicles, which will give you the route time. If you have a boatload of trucks, a boatload of boats, yes, that. Anyway, you're supposed to be building this. Let's give us a nice embankment. That's what we're going with. I like this down here. This truck stop is more than likely going to be removed. We could have a bit more of an embankment, couldn't we? Not an embankment, a viaduct, just so we've got up to the edge of the industry there. Because what I've got planned for it, which I could show you briefly, because this bit's flat and I'm happy with it, is we're going to get into these tools, go to our assets, and these just here. We'll get, I believe it's that one, yes. We'll make it a little bit wider and a little bit, does it need to be longer? It doesn't need to be longer, it needs to be, well, we can try, I think it's width. So we'll try 4, needs to be adjusted down here as well. Does that do it? Depends which side you go. No, went a bit too far. There, D. Yes, that's perfect. Right, let's pick us a better, well, we could use the red brick, but I would like to maybe try something like Gothic, because that looks nice and sort of suits the bridge, doesn't it? But yes, that's what we're doing. We're just going to fill these in and you'll see it will make a nice backdrop for our industry there. There you go. And we could maybe put some buildings up there later when we decide to finish it off. And then we could leave some arches with a little road through or something. But there, I like that. We won't do any more to it because it might change when we complete this. So there it is. It's in. We're going this way. We're going to hug up towards. We can bring on the contour lines, can't we? Not the navigable waters though. That's not going to help me. That one. We need to be at this height here. Somewhere. Well, that height would be ideal. 66 meters. And we're currently at 21. So a bit of climbing to do, but we don't really want to do it, as if we get up to this point, we can start getting up to that 66 meters, can't we? Along the side here, and then it's still scenerified, and hopefully that hasn't shifted our bridge feet. It hasn't. Perfect. Right, so we'll keep that flat and start heading towards the side. We don't have to be too aggressive. Perfect. There we go, and we've started to creep up there. In fact, we can hold shift, just start taking that up a little bit. And if it doesn't look too great once we're done, we can delete bits and let the game redraw it. I like being just a little bit above the treetops here. Close that now. As we'll get a good view of the city for cab rides. Not only that, we'll get a good view from the city for cab rides. We are going to make a little bridge here. I'd like to take that off and go up at that angle. We're going to be empty running back for our coal. And we are going to be... Actually, we should do this crossover first. This grade crossing. And I would like to... If you notice, we go into a curve straight away at the bridge. And we can't build a proper junction off this edge where it's straight So we're going to redo this section. It's going to complain. We're going to keep it straight and flat, so we've got something to come off when we're done. We're going to rework this as well. It's not going to head down. It's going to head flat to meet it. But there's our straight section, hopefully. There we go. Just need a little bit. Perfect. Is that perfect? It might be a bit wobbly. Nope, that's good. So we can head back with this. We can redo all of this section. It's going to be reused fairly soon. There's no need to worry there. Take this round and flat. And there as well. Then we've got our junction, which can go at the edge of the bridge there, which can also stay flat. It's going to slow down. As long as these are, yep, lovely. If you work with a fixed grade, all your junctions will always, almost always look beautiful. I'll say almost always. I'm not promising anything, but mostly. We are going to have to do some fancies here and spend far too much money, but we're doing it. We're doing it. It's fine. We'll get this and we'll flatten it out. Just so we've got a nice section to build a perfect crossing for our track. I think we'll be all right, something like that. Now what we can do is have this bit of track heading this way and flat. Hopefully we come across perfectly. We'll keep it at 70. I mean, it'll probably be much slower. I don't know. Does that look magnificent? Yeah, we haven't really had one of these, have we? So, yeah, that's something new for my series at the very least. And then we'll come round and stay flat here. In fact, we could maybe pick a grade. I don't. Yeah, just stay like that. That'd be fine. Then we can have another perfect junction for this whole thing, couldn't we? Like that. It's a bit tight of an angle. Maybe we could adjust that slightly. Bring this back so we're not trying to work our track to meet this, which is being undone. And we're also going to hug the side of the hill here, so that makes it much better. Anyway, then we should be able to, if we zoom in, get that looking perfect and with a decent speed as well. Not that though, that was awful. I don't know what's going on there. There we go. Clip in, match your switches. Clip. Oh, isn't that lovely? There we go. We can get rid of that section when we've got some more money. But we've got to build this big tunnel yet. So that's going to cost us an arm and a leg. We can slow down as we come down into the station here. Lovely. This does go up. I never noticed how much. I must have put a grade on this by mistake. In fact, it's probably not needed because we're going down to go back up again. I'll more than likely rework that cosmetically. But that's all it would be, isn't it? It's pretty much cosmetics. Yes, that's going to be our little tunnel. I do like that we come out there. I would have preferred not to have a tunnel just here. But we can have a cutting just there. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? We only need one tunnel. It is more expensive, as you can see. We're going to be paying a small fortune for this. We can head back a little bit here, can't we? And then we can just see what it does and get rid of that one. With the tunnel, we only saved like 100 and something K only when we're playing with fire down here. Anyway, you're in. We've paid for it now. It's happening. There we go, guys. We've got our crossing. Not completely finished, as we need to turn around and we need to leave enough room for a monstrous train. We use this line, don't we? So that's all going to be a runoff, which is why we are reinforcing the, what do you call it? The viaduct, yes. Right, let's have a crossing just there. We can have one on the bridge. What we're going to need is a way for our steel train to get back over as well, but that can be a little bit closer, as that's always going to be smaller, as I think it's 2 for 1. Please don't keep messing up. I don't know why it's so rough at building anything these days. There, we're in. Take it. Have you messed up our... Oh, look, you see, that's why I didn't want to do these yet. Anyway, they're in. Those can stay. Can we put one at the end there, since I got it all neat and tidy? Here we go. Like, Yeah, I didn't put that in right, did I? The other one. Yeah, that's nice. And it gives it a flush edge to it, doesn't it? Perfect. Right, you don't want to be messing with that, though. You're spending money. Oh, I don't think we were we, for the assets? Oh, that's a freebie. This is updating every day with GD. I don't know what that's all about. I'd love to put these in. I'm looking forward to doing a UK map again, just so we can take a look at all the wonderful mods. However, I've got loads of plans for this, so I don't want to vanish from this just to start a UK map. We're going to get this done and it's going to be beautiful. We can afford to have a signal here for our steel train. It's going to be shorter and it's going to be more of an express type of freight train. So we're going to have that sort of loco. I do like it. There we go. Perfect. We'll leave the grass in for now because it might not be the finished product. We'll leave the scenery for a little bit. I don't want to accidentally spend way too much money, which I have a knack of doing in this series. Are we good? Have you chosen this? No, you're not good, are you? You don't even have signals, man. Right, get a signal and hit. This does need to be one way, otherwise we could have issues. There we go. Have you chosen this line? You have. There we go. We now skip all of this section. It'll be interesting to see if we beat the almost 2 years worth of time it takes to head round this entire thing. I don't know what we're doing with that yet. So for now, we'll have a signal on the bridge. It does miss all of the iron. Anyway, you're getting distracted with pretties. It's fine. Where is the controlling signal for this junction going to be from this direction? Here, I would say. Yeah, that would be ideal, and the other one will be there somewhere. I think we're done, guys. That is it. We can hit play. That train should now head out the station that way. It's concertinaed a little bit. It's emptying. What are you going to do? Okay, you're going that way. Lovely. There we go. We get to have a little ride on it immediately, and it'll probably lag unless I alt-tab, which one of our lovely GT Express members over on Patreon had a suggestion as to why alt-tabbing works, and that is mouse binding, as it frees the mouse from transport feeder and back to Windows. The idea being that it's stuttering because it keeps reading, the rendering engine keeps reading the position of the mouse, and it could be a floating point issue, so it will stutter backwards and forwards and continually render. I kind of like that idea, except that when you alt-tab in and out, you do have to move the mouse to look back up, but you don't have to click the mouse button, so that might be passively reading the XY coordinates. But this isn't a programmers conference. I was a games developer at one point, way back in the Amiga days. But anyway, distracted with that. Well, there we go. That was pleasant, wasn't it? It was a nice little journey. We could have probably picked a better angle so we got to see more, but let's see what that does for our line. I've got a week of storms coming, I'll tell you now. So I don't know on the videos, it's just Texas, and the weather in spring is always like this. Obviously it's the weather. One thing I do like the look of is we built this bypass and we weren't skimping by any stretch of the imagination. And we have 4.5 million in the bank. That's obviously not going to stay like that, as we have to pay for this. Oh, we should have stayed on for the junction to see if it was nice and smooth. Well, sugar. But what we do want to do, if this keeps the way it is, we can finish this off a little bit. We're going to go across here, believe it or not, and make this look interesting. All of Interlaken's rail bridges are over this stretch of the two lakes joining as a river. I wonder if that has a proper name. A river that connects two lakes that's only that short. I feel like it has a name, but I'm not 100% sure. We've got some big buildings, haven't we, coming up here. and a lot of things going on, so it's not surprising it lags a little bit at times. However, I will prove this is something you can do at home if you're having issues. If you press Alt-I, you'll see all this gubbins comes up, and that gives you the rendering speed of everything it's doing in the game. Timing's microseconds, and there you go. I mean, I could theoretically get to 120 FPS. That's how long it takes. And if you move around and we get to the area that always stutters, you'll see one of these bars, there you go, through the roof, and it's models reflection, models opaque. Yeah, so it's something to do with reflection. But turning it off then changes it to something different as well. But yeah, that's the main cause. Terrain, but there we go. Look at them. Look at them big lines. Models opaque. I tried deleting this. It did seem to be a little smoother. I don't know whether I was seeing things. We'll delete him. But yeah, no, it's still terrible. But there's your issue. It's doing something in the background, and that's right Alt and I. You can also have a bar there, you see, and that's the speed of everything. But yeah, if you did want to see whether it's a performance issue or something bizarre with the game, the rendering engine, then that's the one for you. You need debug mode on. We're still waiting on our train. What we will see, though, hopefully, where is he? Where are you? Should we ride down here? Hopefully it's not too laggy. It's a little bit stuttery, isn't it? I don't know whether my mouse could be the issue. Who knows? It could be just juddering itself. You can bring up that I, Control I, and you'll see I shouldn't see any stuttering. Really, it's rendering everything that it's doing with plenty of speed. Who knows? I'm not going to keep going on about that though, even though I am. What do you reckon, guys? Do you think we're going to have the full steel industry up and running in a couple of episodes? It all depends on what this has done for us. Remember, we were close to what? 23 and a half, a little over 23 and a half months for a full journey. If we can get several months off of that time, that's a big payday. Profit-wise, not just, it's going to be the same amount. It's still going to be just under 7 million as you get paid as the crow flies, regardless of where you take your train, as you'll witness when we get our next payday. That's the end of a cycle that causes that stutter. I would like to Alt-Tab, I think. There's us! So that we get our smoothness back. There we go, smooth as houses. Yeah. Right, let's get off so we can check the line rates with our new train. Not our new train, our new route for our train. A purpose-built bypass. We get here, we should be able to see it's already dropped to 22 minutes, so it's recalculated some of it. Is that going to update it again? We've gone from 23 and a half minutes to less than 22 and a half minutes. So we've gained over a month so far, which is all profit. Oh, 20 minutes. Goodness me. 20 minutes and 4 seconds. So we've gained 3.5 months of time for the complete journey. That's huge. That is pretty huge. Well worth it, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant. So we shouldn't need to do anything now, because it will take us a little bit less time to get our money. Well, 3.5 months. It may even improve further, in which case we're just going to keep improving on that profit margin, which will mean we can spend more. We've got 4 million and we're just leaving the station, and we're carrying 7 million. There is something we could do over here. I said I would do it, even though it looks a bit bizarre. is this train. It's obviously costing us a small fortune because we wanted to have a look at the engine. But if we go to finances, that's not how you want to run a train line. Not ideally anyway. So what we're going to do is manage this, and we're going to replace it with this thing here. We're going to go to the electric multiple units, and we're going to have a tram train type affair going on. And you'll see this one, the powered loco, or the powered engine, powered car, costs us 138,000 a year to run. But if you go to passenger wagons, we've got the passenger version that is unpowered, which costs 53,000 a year. So we'll add 3 of these on, get 33 capacity. That should do us, and it will look the part. And there we go, 193,000, since we can afford it. Now let's go look at the finances. Before, we were paying roughly 1.5 million a year. If we go to details, we're now paying only 245,000. So there's a bit of profit gain right there. So that should change that, and it will just help, wouldn't it? It will just help. Anyway, should we take a look at it? We'll go by the side of it on our little bit of roller coastery road here. I love this because it's open. Look at that. You can see in it, and they jump on and off. It is facing the wrong side for us, for our track. I would imagine this is German. I'm not sure. And I believe it's just the tram model adjusted. I could be wrong, or there may be different catenary sets for it, as the pantograph doesn't reach the wires there. You just want to push it up, don't you? Go on. But it's all right. I like it still. But there she goes. There she goes. Where's our train? It should be... Yeah, there it is. Is that it? Beautiful. Oh, I would like to address the some more comments, and that is this would now drop off more planks for our steam train. However, it wouldn't, because we're limited currently to 100. So no, it won't change this for our steam train, because the demand isn't there yet. However, this is what the beginnings of this is. We're hooking up this coal. Once I'm confident this coal is going to pay off big each time it shows up, we could go for the iron over here, and we're going to head up this way and hug this bit of mountain, go across the top, go round and up. If we can squeeze it in this episode, which I'm not sure about, we'll make a start on it. I think I'm a little concerned we'll run out of money. I would like to do something better with this area as well. We could probably get a better main road going down this way, or even a secondary bridge somewhere like that. So because we are low here anyway. I don't know what I'm doing with the actual train stations yet. The problem is we don't have a lot of funds to be bulldozing half of Interlaken to get a train station in where it would be in real life, which was somewhere like there. I would like the little short stop one. We could always go up here as well, with some sort of access to the depot. We're going to need some access. I don't know how we'll do it yet. For now, it's all about the money, isn't it, on this one? We know it's going to earn 7 million, or 6.99. The question is, has it increased or decreased the frequency from our, what will we up to? 20 minutes, yeah. 20 minutes and 4 seconds. Come on. If it drops this, I'll be super happy. There we go. Still got the 6.99 to prove the as the crow flies payments. So the shorter you can make it. If you're playing the gamey hard mode, oh, it dropped again, didn't it? 1830, guys. We've gone from 2330 to 1830. 5 months, nearly half a year gained. And you can tell our money almost broke the 10 million. I think we fixed it. And that is how we fixed it. We shortened the route. It was kind of obvious that was going to be the case, knowing the mechanics as the crow flies, etc. But it was a good experiment. I would say that was good for science. And if you were ever wondering about how that all works and what doing something like this and improving your lines, I mean, this would have been technically cheaper for this train starting off if we would have done this first. As it stands, we can probably use this line here and share the iron line to bring in and take out our fuel and both drop it off at Interlaken. We'll have another freight station at the back there perhaps. We could even have it here and have our trucks taken into town, since we do have some sort of trucking going on there. Oberhofen as well could have a small freight station because it wouldn't be very full by the time it got there. And yeah, we'll make a little start on it and then we'll be ready to go next episode. We need to come across straight ideally and flat. So there we are, we've got the straight and we are flat, I believe. We'll come across like this and we'll have a nice iron bridge. So we've got clearance, hopefully, for our boat. We'll accept that and we'll take a quick look with the navigable waters. Beautiful. I mean, it's going to be close. There might be some chimney scraping going on from our boats under there if the waters are a little rough. Oh, he's on the way back now. That's lovely. Right, we'll get that in. We are going to double track it. It's going to be busy from the get-go, as we're obviously going to want to hook up our oil as soon as possible. And then we're going to head straight. As you can see, we're losing our embankment as we go around there. We could keep some decent speed at the very least. We'll check on our boat in a second. He's not going to be running the quickest, is he? No, we'll just make our way up here slowly until we're sort of into this side here, and then we can head up gradually. And then we've got a nice mountainside railway for our iron ore. There we go. We can start heading up now, as we're going to need the height. This is sort of helping us anyway. I don't know whether we're going too steep like this. No, we're going to have to really get up there, aren't we? Hug the sign. Yeah, there we go. It's caught up with us a little bit, but we're on a steady grade. Where's our ship? There we go. Our boat. Ship, boat. Are you going to miss it by a mile, or are you going to scrape it if the water's a little rough? I guess you won't be allowed to go under if there is rough water. Here we go. Oh, can't see. Oh, it's close. Oh, there's a... Ooh, I don't know. It'd have to be really rough, wouldn't it? Stormy, in fact. Good stuff. Good stuff. We haven't ruined anything in that regard. And given what we were doing up there, we've done all right, haven't we? With our build. I don't really want a tunnel, if possible. Oh, you've changed. Why? We'll make a bit of a cut in on the side. I don't want to lose any speed, or much speed. We probably could lose some. It doesn't really matter. There we go. There we go. Nice little cut in into the side there. What we can do is flatten this side so we get a nice view of it. Once we've got the funds, of course. We don't want to go too high here. At some point, we're going to level out. It's like we're heading down to Interlaken. And do we have the height to get across there? If so, I'm going to straighten us now for our crossing. I think we're all right. Oh, we've got an eagle there. Look, oh, there he goes. Is it an eagle or is it a hawk? I don't know. You've got distracted big time. What are you? You're an eagle. You are an eagle. There he is. Oh, in fact, we can do this, can't we? We're on board the eagle, guys. Can we... Oh, there we go. We get a good view of him like that. There he is. Lots of detail on the eagle. That's wonderful, isn't it? Wow, that is really good, actually. I like that. He doesn't lag, though, does he? No. He probably is. He's just gliding. Oh, isn't that a beautiful view? Well, there's more wildlife down there. What a view that is. We'll have to take a ride on more eagles later on. It's a good view of our map. At a gentle speed. Anyway, you're supposed to be doing this for the end. Right, we are going straight and flat here. We want to aim over there somewhere. We are going to have quite a bridge going on. I mean, it's not too bad really, is it? We're going to have a nice big iron bridge. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, nice big iron bridge there. Yes, and then we can hug past Oberhofen, but up in the hills, which I think is going to look a bit cool. In fact, a lot cool, because then we not only that, we get to avoid most of the pollution, noise pollution, going where we're going up here. Probably hug there a little bit more. Cut into the side of the mountain. We haven't lost any speed. We haven't gone in the red either. I've left it playing, obviously, so that we can get some funds. Here we go. We're up round here. Oh, isn't that pleasant? I like that. I like that a lot. And we can do our painty trick with it, can't we? That's beautiful. We are going to double track it, though, because we're going to have oil running along here as well. We'll probably have our oil station up out the way for drop-offs, so that we can have some sort of fancy multi-layered thing going on there. Oh, I love it, guys. Oh, well, and it's cheap as chips, really, isn't it? I mean, if you're just starting out, it's a little bit pricey, but oh, we could do something with that. We can do a wall. Where we are in the playthrough, I think this is worth it. That's a nice flat edge, flattish edge. We can get our retaining wall pieces and make that look a little better. Now, what sort of height are we at? Maybe we can get this running. Well, we don't have the funds for it. All we're going to do is duplicate our coal train, because it's going to be the exact same thing for our iron train. I know. Another small fortune. We don't obviously have the funds just yet, but we shouldn't be too far away. And then we'll end it with a little cab ride. Right, get the contours up, man. What sort of height have we got here? We're at 63 meters. Our station's going to be roughly 29. We should have started going down, possibly. But we can go down from here, can't we? And make our way down this side. That'll do just fine. We could even just do a point-to-point and put it in. This is begging to be a station area just here. Should we get it in? Should we just get us a station in? Buildings, if we can afford it. That's road. Right, where's our freight station? Let's go maximum size. We're going to need it there. And we can hug in to this point. We're in. We're just going to leave it like that for now. We may need to do some track shenanigans at the depot to get over here, but it shouldn't be too bad. Now, what does it make of it if we just go all the way across like this? Excessive, really, is what it does with it. We may need to... we're going to get rid of this bit, guys, and now I've paid for it by not having it paused. But we're going to start doing this. I'm coming down the mountainside because I didn't quite realise the... I don't want to go down that. Oh, a little tunnel. Wouldn't be too bad. What sort of height are we at the moment? We only need to go down a little bit. The tunnel's probably a bit excessive for us. Right, we need to bow out and bow back in again. That's what I'm saying. There. Oh, we don't really need a bridge. We could fill that in, though. Well, when we're supposed to be coming down, aren't we? Right, we're at 63 at this point. We need to just keep heading down here, and eventually we're going to get to where we need to be without bridging too much. That should give us what we need, I think. Where are we at there? 42. You do a better job at hooking up now. I mean, we've got a steady climb, I would say, but then we go straight after that point. Yeah, that should be fine. We're in. Guys, we're connected. And we still have money in the bank. Not enough for our iron train just yet. It's going to make us probably a bit more than our coal train. However, we've also got a lot of stored coal ready for our iron. So we don't have to balance the rates just yet. We want to actually make sure that iron is running slightly quicker for a while, as we have... an abundance of coal waiting for it. Now, I'm bringing it all the way up here, but obviously, given the size of our coal train, what we're going to do is we're going to have a buffer there, and we'll have the crossing point somewhere up here. Question is it a nice... Yeah, that should be fine. There we go. Just like that. and then we can surely have enough room there to turn around. Yes, one way. There we go. We're going to need some blocking in here eventually, plenty of it. Do we have the crossovers here? I don't know. Let's make the line and then we can figure it out from there, and then we're ready to go, aren't we? Let's add, that won't get you what you want. We're going from, not from there. You want to go, where are you? Up here. Steffensburg, we need to rename that to the freight yard. It's kind of a, what colour should we have iron? Like a pinky? Yeah, it's kind of that, isn't it? I can't remember what the icon looks like now. Where's the coal icon? The iron icon even doesn't show you anywhere. Not while you're in this mode anyway. It's fine. We'll change it as need be. Right then. This will be the Interlaken iron freight to go along with our coal freight. But we may need to do some work. We do indeed. And we're going to need to leave enough room, likewise up here in Interlaken, for our train to cross over. So just before the bridge is where we're going to do it, similar to how we did it with the viaduct up there. Which station are we going in? The outside one should do us. Possibly. Yeah, the outside one should do. And then we can just create a little crossover here. That should be perfect. There we go. Which means coming in, we can, I mean, we can stop on the bridge. That'd be kind of cool if we're on the boat. Right, guys, we're all prepped. We're not going to take a loan out. We're going to let our coal train pay for this. What we'll do when we come back. There we look, he's coming in now. I don't know how much do we need for this. Let's manage vehicle. No, we don't want to do that. 25.7 million. We're a little way off, aren't we? Just a little bit. That's like an entire loan. Oh, I love this. I missed it again, but it's fine. It's fine. We've almost got iron up and running. I think we'll be good as well. Let's just double check this line. It's getting in and out the station. We will have to do some shenanigans over at our depot to make sure we get over to... Oh, it's about the right colour. One of those oranges is in that icon. I like it. We can use the darker orange for fuel. Guys, that's been it. Let's jump on board. Where are we? We can jump on board the old coal train again, can't we? There we go. We're sat at the front down here. I've alt-tabbed a little bit. It won't be a full journey. Not this time, as we want to put that iron train in. And I'm looking forward to that. Although we will keep the money from this. I haven't saved it yet. So I'll save it after the cab ride. And then we'll obviously get a payout for this. And that means after the intro on the next episode, we should have the funds to duplicate this train and send it on its iron run. And we'll see just how much that's going to make us. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Once we've got those two running, I feel like we're going to be able to stick the... What else have we got to put on? Yeah, we can run up the steel, can't we? To where we're dropping off our planks, which might upgrade our planks and make even more money there. And then finally, we run our machines all the way up the mountain railway, where we're going to have to double track a little bit more. I believe we've turned around already, so we should be safe. Anyway, guys, that's been a bit of fun, and I feel a bit better about our situation. We are possibly going to make a small fortune once we can afford to double this train and put one on the iron line. And until next time, we're on the bridge. Viaduct. Distracted completely. Worst outro ever. So until next time, take care.